this and you enjoy it. But we are going to be taking a look at some facts about Greek mythology. I don't think I've done any videos on this topic before, so I definitely think there's scope to do more in future, some non-fact videos, maybe focusing more on the stories. But then of course you've also got like Norse mythology to look at, and other various other mythology elements. So we'll definitely be covering all of them at some point in the future. But today the focus is on Greek mythology. Now, I usually don't ask for a like until the end of the video, but if you could give the video a like now, because this is actually my second time filming this video. I filmed the entire thing a few days ago, finished filming, turned my camera off, went to go and export the audio file, and it had recorded with the internal MacBook microphone and not the Blue Yeti microphone. So I could have uploaded a super lo-fi facts video, but I didn't really want to do that, so here we are, giving it another go. So if you could leave a like just because I've put double the effort in, that would be amazing. But yeah, I think enough rambling on. Let's get into those facts. So we begin with fact number 1. The 12 Titans were understood by the Greeks as the second generation of divine entities, having taken over control of the earth from the primordial gods, who were apparently born out of nothing. The Titans rose to power after Cronus overthrew their father, the primordial Uranus. Later though, that act would be replicated by Zeus and the other Olympians, who fought a 10-year-long battle against Cronus and the Titans to eventually become the prevailing gods of the Greek universe. Next, as Lord of the Underworld, Hades gets treated as the Greek equivalent of the devil, but in actuality, he got the job because he and his brothers drew straws, and he got stuck with the underworld. Seriously, the story goes, Hades drew lots with his brothers Zeus and Poseidon to decide which part of the world each would rule. Zeus received the sky, Poseidon the seas, and of course Hades the underworld. The next fact is about Hades again. He is not considered to be the equivalent of death. He just rules over the dead in his kingdom. Thanatos, the god of peaceful death, brings people to the underworld and in that sense acts as death. Violent death was the domain of Thanatos' blood-craving sisters, the Kyries, spirits of slaughter and disease. I'm just going to say it now and not say it again throughout the video. I apologise to all the Greek mythology experts over my pronunciation, okay? I'm just giving it my best guess. So, although Hades was a brother to both Zeus and Poseidon, he's typically not included in lists of the Olympians. As the resident deity of the underworld, he is considered to be separate. It's an interesting distinction, because while Hades' dominion was death, and you might assume he'd be a villainous figure, he was given just as much credit for the overthrow of the Titans as was Zeus, Poseidon, and the other Olympians. Greeks may have feared him, but they also gave him his due respect. So, Athena and Poseidon both wanted to be the guardian of a certain city, so they had a gift-giving competition. Poseidon gave them a beautiful spring, but the water was salty and useless. Athena gave them an olive tree that gave food, oil, Artemis as a dolphin, he commandeered a ship and sailed it to the coast of Delphi. The sailors on board became the first priests there. Although he is the god of war, Ares was also quite the coward, and as a result, his family hates him. Nice. Ares' sister Athena shares his duties overseeing war. Ares personifies havoc and bloodshed, while Athena's place is as goddess of defense, strength, and righteous battle. Artemis was the twin sister of Apollo and daughter of Zeus. As a young girl, she appealed to her father to allow her to remain a virgin for eternity, a wish that he granted. She was the goddess of the hunt, wild animals, wilderness, childbirth, virginity, and protector of young girls, bringing and relieving disease in women. She often was depicted as a huntress carrying a bow and arrows. I mean, that's quite the CV. If anything, she's being a little bit greedy with all the things she's goddess of, but fair play, I respect the multitasking. While the stories of Theseus braving the labyrinth and slaying the Minotaur are well known, less well known are the stories of how big of a jerk he was. He left Ariadne, the princess who helped him escape the labyrinth, on an island when she fell asleep. He forgot to hoist a red sail on his ship to signal his safety, prompting his father to think he had died and killed himself. Depending on where you heard the story, Ariadne either had a happy ending by marrying the god Dionysus, and being granted immortality, or she had a less than pleasant ending and was killed by Artemis for funsies. Either way, Theseus is a bit of a knob, and that's literally what this article says. Fair enough. One of the most popular Greek myths is that of Perseus and the Medusa. The Medusa. As many know, Medusa was a hideous woman with snakes for hair, who turned anyone who looked at her into stone. Stheno and Euryale, who were equally hideous, were Medusa's lesser-known sisters. Medusa was basically the Beyonce of the Gorgons, who were evil monsters of the underworld. Medusa and her sisters were the daughters of Phorcys, a sea god, and his sister Ceto. In addition to the Gorgons, this lovely couple also had Echidna, a half-woman, half-serpent monster. This is why incest is bad. You get monsters like the Gorgons, Echidna, and Joffrey. Wow, a little Game of Thrones reference there, nice. Zeus, Poseidon, and his siblings were not the first immortals, or even the second. First came Chaos, then Gaia, then the Titans, who finally gave birth to the Olympian gods that most people know. Cronus, a Titan, knew that the Olympians would eventually surpass him in power, so he swallowed them to keep that from happening. Rhea saved Zeus, who later returned to free his siblings. Among the defeated Titans was Atlas, who is often depicted as holding up the earth. This is, however, incorrect. Atlas's punishment was to hold up the heavens. Prometheus moulded the mortals, or humans, from clay, and kept stealing from the gods in order to benefit his creation. He stole the best meat from a sacrificial feast release from the eagle's torment. According to Greek mythology, Pandora was the first mortal woman. She was also made by Zeus as a way to punish man for Prometheus's insolent kleptomania. Pandora was famous for opening the box that released all the evils into the world. Pandora was also known as the grandmother of the human race. So what released more evil, Pandora or her box? Oh, is that like a rude joke? Maybe it's not, maybe that's just like where my mind went, but that feels like a bit of a euphemism, but probably not. I'm probably just dirty-minded. Anyway. Though commonly known as the goddess of love and beauty, Aphrodite had an adulterous love affair with Ares, so she is sometimes associated with war. This has been supported by statues and depictions of an armed Aphrodite. Heracles saved the city of Crete from a raging bull by seizing it by its horn. Some believe this is one of the possible origins of the phrase, taking the bull by its horns. Zeus was the father of the gods and well known for his sexual aggressiveness. His first wife, the Titan Metis, tried to get away by shape-shifting, but Zeus got her pregnant anyway with Athena. Athena was born in Zeus's head after he swallowed her along with her mother and had to be broken out of his head with a hammer. Oh gosh, right. This next fact is titled Really Bad Zeus. So Hera, the sister of Zeus, is known for her jealousy. Even Zeus, who is known to fear nothing, feared her tantrums. Zeus fell in love with Hera, but after she refused his first marriage proposal. Wait, sister? Right, so he's proposed to his sister, okay, completely normal. Zeus created a thunderstorm and transformed himself into a little bird. Zeus pretended to be in distress, and Hera, feeling pity towards the bird, brought it inside. Zeus then transformed back into himself and seduced her. Hera, ashamed of being exploited, agreed to marriage with Zeus. So essentially Zeus is just he's a god, but he's a sex pest, basically. Oh dear. The next one is also about Zeus's antics. Zeus was also known for taking on animal form in order to get his way with other women. He wooed Persephone as a serpent, Asteria and Aegnia as an eagle, Boetis as a goat, Europa as a bull, Eurymedusa as an ant, Amphithea as a dove, and Leda as a swan. Right, okay. Some of these animals, granted, quite powerful, or bold, attractive animals, like an eagle. Symbol is a symbol of, something. But if you're getting seduced by an ant, I think realistically you've got to take a long hard look at yourself. Eurymedusa, seduced by an ant. That is outrageous, but I guess Zeus has just got that ant riz, hasn't he? Dearie me. We're going to continue with Zeus's antics if you hadn't had enough yet. Zeus didn't restrict himself to only animals, oh no, of course not. He seduced Danae by courting her as a shout of gold, impregnating her with the hero Perseus. Right. Fair enough. I can't really comment much more on Zeus's tactics, I guess. Due to their legacy as an ancient religion, the Christian Church initially tried to suppress the myths and the Greek gods. However, they were impossible to dislodge from society and history. Zeus was the all-father of the Greek gods, ruling supreme in the sky. Although he was married to Hera, Zeus famously sired many children with gods, nymphs, titans and mortals alike. The term all-father wasn't a metaphor. I feel like we didn't need that fact really, because we've just gone through his particular tactics. Anyway, ancient Greek sources disagree on whether Dionysus or Hestia sits on the 12th throne of Mount Olympus. However, there is no record of the ancient sources telling the story that Hestia gave up her seat to Dionysus to sit by the hearth. That appears to be a more modern invention to justify why the sources are split on these two being named as the 12th god. When it comes to the Olympian gods, Zeus was the father of 7 of them: Apollo, Artemis, Hermes, Ares, Athena, Hephaestus and Dionysus. The oldest surviving sources for information on the Greek gods are the Iliad and the Odyssey by the blind poet Homer. Another poet, Hesiod, discusses the history of the world's creation and the development of humankind, with the gods' help in his works, Theogony and Works and Days. Besides the 12 Olympians, or 13 if we're being technical, there were many other gods on Mount Olympus. Among them were the Muses, Ganymede, Iris and Eileithyia. The greatest challenge the Greek gods ever faced was brought against them by Gaia, who basically got sick of whoever was in charge and plotted to overthrow them. In this case, Gaia produced the giants, fearsome monsters who were prophesied to defeat the gods unless they had help from the mortal hero who could save them. That hero happened to be Heracles, and in a great conflict known as the Gigantomachy, the giants fought against Heracles and the gods, ultimately being defeated by their combined efforts. According to the Greek myths, the ancestors of the gods were the Titans. These were godlike beings who were born of Gaia, the earth, and Uranus, the sky, who also happened to be mother and son. Right. Uranus was a cruel being who imprisoned many of his children with Gaia, much to her fury. One of the Titans, named Cronus, was given a sickle by Gaia, which is either made of stone or adamantium, depending on the version of the myth. Either way though, he used this sickle to ambush and castrate his father. Lovely. Because Uranus was immortal, he couldn't be killed, but he also couldn't create life anymore, which meant he simply remained as the embodiment of the sky. However, he did curse his son, vowing that Kronos would be undone by his own children just as he'd undone his dad. Understandably paranoid, Kronos resolved this issue by swallowing each of his babies as they were born. very normal behaviour. Little did he know, though, that his wife Rhea hid the last baby from him, giving him a stone wrapped in swaddling clothes instead. This baby in question was Zeus. Zeus, god of the sex pests. So, we got more repeats of Zeus being an absolute chad. Zeus's most prominent symbols were the thunderbolt, the eagle, the bull, the oak tree. In ancient Greek art, Zeus was usually depicted as either sitting down on a throne or walking forward while holding a thunderbolt over his head. Okay, this seems like a good one to finish on. Hera's vindictiveness is best represented when she and Zeus had an argument over whether men or women experience more pleasure during intercourse. Yeah. Luckily, there was a mortal man named Tiresias who had spent time as a man and then later as a woman. He claimed that women enjoyed sex more than men, making Zeus the winner of the argument. Hera struck Tiresias blind in response to his giving the wrong answer. Zeus, however, gave Tiresias the gift of prophecy as compensation. I don't really know if that's fitting compensation. Could you not have just given him his eyesight back? I don't know about you, but I'd rather be able to see than see the future. But that's just me. But that is going to do it for the facts. Some definitely interesting ones, if not slightly sexual. Maybe I'll title this Greek mythology facts gone wrong, gone sexual. I won't do that, but I should. But I definitely am gonna do like a video that focuses more on like the stories aspect of everything, and maybe like a chronological, proper breakdown of the history of the Greek gods. I think that could be pretty cool, to be honest. So let me know if that's something you'd like to see. But that is gonna do it for tonight's video.